In July of 2021, Mark Rosewater was asked about the possibility of Universes Beyond sets ever being made as premier sets for Magic the Gathering. Premier being the term Wizards of the Coast uses for standard legal sets, such as Ravnica, Innistrad, Amonkhet, Lorwyn, and so on. Not only did Rosewater clearly state no, Universes Beyond cards would not be standard legal, and that no, they would not be making Universes Beyond premier sets, but Wizards of the Coast even officially released their own statement, both clarifying for and reassuring to Magic players that no, Universes Beyond cards will not be standard legal, and no, the normal cadence of standard sets and standard set releases is not going to change. That normal cadence being 4 standard sets per year. 4. Well, last weekend, Wizards of the Coast revealed the roadmap of releases for 2026. And there will be not 4, not 5, not 6, but 7. 7 standard sets next year. And of those 7, only 3 will be in Universe. Everything else will be Universes Beyond. That's right, the majority of Magic the Gathering set releases in 2026, of which we are now up to 7, are Universes Beyond. They also revealed Universes Beyond secret layers of Furby, Jaws, and yep, Dwight from The Office. But that is another video. Yeah, those are all real. I feel like I need to clarify that these are real. In this video, I will be talking about everything coming to Magic the Gathering in 2026. All 7 standard sets, as well as the new products that have been revealed to us, and all the little details and previews associated with them. I will not be covering the Office secret layer, or the Jaws secret layer, or the Furby secret layer, or the many, many, many other secret layers previewed at MagicCon Atlanta at this time. You'll just have to wait for that review video. I will show you this clip from MagicCon, though. Magic the Gathering in 2026. And before I begin, I do need to get just a little real for a moment. There is a lot of cool stuff coming to Magic the Gathering next year, but there's a lot of disappointment as well. Disappointment not just in the products themselves. Are you loving Spider-Man from Marvel? Well, there's another Marvel set coming in just a few months, but disappointment that I might have in the direction of Magic the Gathering as well. To be frank, y'all know how I feel about this. I'm gonna offer commentary on it in a future video, but for now, I just want to go over what is coming so that we can all be prepared. So that we can prepare for Marvel, we can prepare for, yes, Star Trek, and yes, be prepared to go back to Lorwyn. So with all of that, here is what's coming to Magic the Gathering in 2026. But first, I sometimes get hate online for some of my decisions or videos that I produce. And while I appreciate constructive criticism, some of these comments are just unacceptable. This one, for example, Prof, how do you sleep at night? Come on, everyone. I've answered this one before. I sleep comfortably and affordably on a Helix mattress. Da-doy! And that's because Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. I'm not kidding when I say Helix is the real deal. I really have been sleeping on a Helix mattress for years. Before that, I had back pain, restlessness, and discomfort, and all of it went away when I switched to Helix. Helix Sleep takes the hassle out of mattress shopping with their trademark sleep quiz. Answer a few questions like sleep position and body type, then Helix will recommend the perfect bed for you. Helix also includes free shipping to sweeten the pot even more. Buying a mattress online can seem a bit intimidating, but that's why they also offer a 100-night sleep trial. Right now, you can take advantage of Helix's fall savings event. That means 20% off site-wide. Scan my code or go to helix.com/Tolarian to save your sleep and your wallet now. So the next time you see a Tolarian Community College video with an opinion on Magic the Gathering that you disagree with, and you say, "How does the professor sleep at night?" remember, on a Helix mattress. Thank you, Helix, for sponsoring this video. Our year does begin on a high note with a long overdue return to the plane of Lorwyn, a set that was originally slated to come out in 2025 but was delayed due to Wizards of the Coast wanting to have an additional Universes Beyond set. Therefore, 2026 begins with the aptly named Lorwyn Eclipsed. A lot about Lorwyn Eclipsed was revealed this past weekend, including a bevy of new cards, new treatments, and even some new products. But top of that list is that the remaining 5 Shocklands will be reprinted in Lorwyn Eclipsed, rounding out the cycle from Edge of Eternities. In addition to the normal printings of these Shocklands, there will also be new borderless reversible versions depicting each land as it appears on Lorwyn during the day or Shadowmoor during the night. I think this is a really clever use of dual-sided cards, and it is especially great to see that the complete cycle will now be standard legal, as this will help out a lot of decks with their mana bases. Shocklands happen to be some of the best cards in Magic the Gathering, and if you'd like to know why, I have an entire video exploring their power and application, not just for standard, but for all of Magic the Gathering, here. When Lorwyn was first introduced, it was a pastoral land in which the sun never fully set, full of thriving elves, kithkin, giants, and other clans. But there is a darker side to the plane, its mirror, Shadowmoor, a land where the sun never fully rises, and where all the creatures and characters of Lorwyn become withered and twisted. As the eternal day of Lorwyn turns into the unending night of Shadowmoor, each being's appearance and identity, even their memories, are rewritten. This transformation was directly caused by the great Aurora of Una, Queen of the Fairies, and specifically orchestrated to keep her in power. However, following the events of the Lorwyn block and the defeat of Una, the natural day and night cycle of the plane was restored. But Shadowmoor still is being brought to life. In Lorwyn Eclipsed, the Eternal Day and Eternal Twilight have returned from 2 mysterious elementals that have appeared upon the plane, each holding the keys to one half of the world's identity. Wherever Eridu, Carrier of Dawn, wanders, it brings the light of Lorwyn with it. Isilu, Carrier of Twilight, also travels, but in its vicinity it transforms all into their Shadowmoor counterpart. This changing of characters is now done through a familiar idea: transforming cards. Only in Lorwyn Eclipsed, for the first time, we are in direct control of the transformation. And so not only can we transform cards like Sig, Wanderwine Wisdom, and Ashling Rekindled into their Shadowmoor counterparts, but our Herald of the Morning, Eridu, actually flips to its dark counterpart, Isilu, Carrier of Twilight. That's right, these are 2 sides of one card. Evoke was an extremely popular mechanic from original Lorwyn. And here it returns, but with a twist, where the mechanic now looks at the pips spent on the cast to determine the ETB effects. In the early game, this is essentially a modal spell. In the late game, these elementals are double ETB creatures. I can see already that this is going to give decks in Standard more flexibility, and regardless of the format they're played in, be undoubtedly strong. Another important card coming from Lorwyn is Bitterbloom Bearer. This creature is a nod to the very popular card Bitter Blossom, and of course Rebecca Gay, the artist for the original, also returns for the serialized headliner of this card. Mutable Explorer was also a card that caught my attention. A shapeshifter that creates a new token we haven't seen, a Mutavault token. Lorwyn also brings with it new products. In addition to the usual commander decks, which of course I'll have an exclusive video around later, we will see Draft Night Bundle, a Pick 2 draft experience built for 4 players to enjoy at home. The product includes 12 play boosters, and strangely a collector booster, which you can't draft with those wizards. I guess that's meant to be the prize. I mean, they're not just throwing it in to justify the $90 price tag, are they? Are they? Stay tuned for our inevitable Is It Worth It to Buy video to find out. Speaking of more products coming with Lorwyn, we're also going to have themed standard precon decks. Oh my god, they did it! A return to 60-card precon decks that can be played right out of the box? Are these essentially the return of challenger decks? Based on the spoiled deck lists, no, not even close. The themes are pirates versus angels. You know, 2 things you think of on Lorwyn. The plane that doesn't have oceans, so pirates and angels. Name your favorite Lorwyn angel. No, that's a Kithkin. No, that's a merfolk. No, that's a giant. That's an elemental. Did original Lorwyn have angels? Well, even if they did, these decks immediately look pretty weak. But as always, we're going to have to wait for the Is It Worth It to Buy to dive in deep. Deep like the non-existent oceans of Lorwyn that pirates sail upon. It has rivers, y'all. Lorwyn has no oceans. It's rivers. I mean, I guess there could be pirates on a river. Starting the year off with Lorwyn is amazing. This is a set that really embodies everything that so many of us love about Magic the Gathering. A mystical world, magical creatures, beautiful fantasy art, and clever card designs. It's a set that harkens all the way back to the golden era of Magic, when even the idea of Planeswalker cards was something new and never before seen. And while I'll admit it's a bit of a bummer that we only get to spend one set on Lorwyn, a set whose dual nature with day versus night really cries out for, 2 sets, but it's especially heartbreaking to know that after January of 2026, there's very little Magic the Gathering coming to Magic the Gathering. What is next? Well, following Lorwyn is a Universes Beyond standard set, but which universe in particular is the one unknown left to be revealed for 2026? Though perhaps that is not entirely true, as we do have a lot of signs as to which universe we'll be traveling to, just not which of its many properties will be the focus of our next standard set. This is because Wizards of the Coast has confirmed their upcoming partnership with Nickelodeon Studios. And again, though not confirmed, many Magic the Gathering players suspect that one of the many Nick worlds is where we will be visiting for the second standard set of 2026. So I guess it's appropriate for me to say, I don't know what the next standard set is. I don't know because it's from Nickelodeon. I guess we can't do a slime effect. Can we do a slime effect, editor? Maybe not. I don't know. Can we? For all I know, the next set will be Nicktoons featuring Rugrats or Doug or Ren and Stimpy. But truly, the money is on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the property that is the frontrunner of just about every Magic player's guess as to what this set will be. If this does end up being true, which again, it's pure speculation at this point, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actually isn't that bad. And I can't believe that's my criteria for a Magic setting now. Not that bad, as this is a beloved property whose long history of lore and characters can likely translate well into Magic cards. Though I can't help being concerned about the links between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and our current Magic set, Marvel's Spider-Man. After all, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a lot of characters, if only because they needed to sell a lot of action figures back in the early 90s. And I could see this ending up being another set overloaded with legendaries. 10 Shredders, 10 Master Splinters, instead of just focusing on standalone, iconic legendary designs. The New York setting also makes me nervous, as Slice of Pepperoni Pizza may soon be joining Subway Car, Bagel, and Pigeon to deliver an uninspired and mundane selection of everyday items made into Magic cards. I mean, are we really having 2 sets in less than a year set on the plane of New York City? Again, we do not know what set this is, we just know about the partnership with Nickelodeon, so maybe it's a full SpongeBob set. Only time will tell. Cowabunga, dude? Oh, God. Next up is actually our second to last in-universe set of the year, but we're returning to Strixhaven, or more accurately, exploring the secrets of Strixhaven. Our return to Strixhaven will actually allow us to take a step out of the school grounds and explore the greater world of Arcavios. Arcavios? Well, it sounds like Arcane, I think, not to be confused with League of Legends. We don't want to talk about that. What we're focusing on is that several fan-favorite characters are now navigating their post-college lives. And if they're anything like me, they're finding that a degree in the humanities is only good for one thing: teaching humanities to to other students. All joking aside, Wizards of the Coast has indicated there will actually be some connective narrative between our return to Strixhaven and our return to Lorwyn, as apparently we will be introduced to many of these students in the Lorwyn set as they explore the plane, and here on Strixhaven when they return with their findings. I am, if nothing else, glad to see an attempt to return to some kind of narrative or story between our in-universe sets, and while it will likely never approach what we had in the days of blocks, it is welcome nonetheless. And this return to having a narrative lore is not just lip service either, as we're getting a full novel with Strixhaven: Omens of Chaos, written by none other than the legendary Seanan McGuire. And in addition to there being a physical book for Strixhaven, there's still going to be the usual bevy of short stories published to the web to further expand and explore this world. I'm absolutely thrilled to see such a bold expansion of narrative, and the book is even going to include an old frame command tower promo, complete with Strixhaven art. Just don't make the mistake I did when I was in high school with these book promos and use it as an actual bookmark. R.I.P. my mana crypt. Hey, credit where credit is due. At least the 2 Magic the Gathering sets so far feel like Magic the Gathering. No one is wearing detective hats or driving race cars or playing football, so props to the creative team for deciding to make Magic the Gathering's in-universe sets about, well, magic. There's only one more Magic the Gathering set left for the year, and amazingly, 3 more Universes Beyond sets to go. Our next 2 sets are actually returning to Universes Beyond that we've already been to, so get ready to add even more legendary characters to your Marvel's Spider-Man collection, because next up is Magic the Gathering's Marvel's Heroes. More Marvel. Snap. Unlike Spider-Man, Marvel's Superheroes is not focusing on any one character, but instead will explore a wide array of beloved Marvel figures. And it's not just the Avengers, though there are many Avengers. But look, there's also Squirrel Girl. Suffice it to say, Mark Rosewater is very excited. What's important to note about Marvel Superheroes is that these are purported to follow the comic book versions of these characters, though there will of course be an awareness of characters that are popular due to the movies and television shows. I myself hope very much that there is actually some kind of narrative thread that will be happening in this set, as I think that one of the best uses of bringing universes beyond Magic the Gathering to Magic the Gathering is taking the opportunity to tell an actual story, as opposed to what we saw in Spider-Man with just portraying every single character that you can think of with no real thread or tale. Whether or not that will be the case with Marvel Superheroes is yet to be seen. Before this set was revealed, I made a prediction that the Soul Stone's inclusion in Spider-Man indicated a lot of future Marvel sets. And indeed, Wizards of the Coast has told us that their deal is for multiple sets, whatever multiple means. Now, the fact that this set is encompassing so many Marvel heroes and is not just, say, Marvel's Iron Man or Marvel's Captain America, the set, does give me hope. Hope that we may only be looking at a future of 2 to 3 more Marvel sets after this one, and not, I don't know, half a dozen over the next half decade? But who knows? Marvel is obviously not my jam. If it is yours, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Next. Our next revisited plane is at least Magic adjacent. We've had one Lord of the Rings set, yes, but what about a second Lord of the Rings set? Get ready for The Hobbit. While next to nothing was revealed about The Hobbit, I do have a few points of speculation that I think are fair to make. The first is that this is the perfect home for needed reprints from The Lord of the Rings, an issue that was very contentious at the time of the set's release, because many Magic the Gathering players worried that cards like, say, The One Ring would never be able to be reprinted and thus would climb in price. While I'm always in favor of cards being reprinted for accessibility, this may end up being a double-edged sword, because any cards reprinted from Lords of the Ring, a set that was intended for Modern only, will now be made part of Standard. So yeah, you got your One Ring reprint possibly, but do we really want to deal with the Ring Tempts You in Standard for the next whatever years? I sure don't. Limiting powerful reprints to a bonus sheet of some sort could sidestep some of these issues, but still won't stop your lucky pre-release opponent from orcish bowmastering it up. At least The Hobbit is magic adjacent. At least it is fantasy and not The Big Bang Theory. Many Magic the Gathering players often ask me if I even consider sets like Lord of the Rings or Dungeons & Dragons to be universes beyond, as both of these worlds were the inspirations that Magic the Gathering directly drew from when creating our own world. And to that I say yes, while they are technically outside of our world, I have less of a problem with them because they so seamlessly fit within it. When Universes Beyond was first revealed, Wizards of the Coast tossed the phrase magic adjacent around a lot to assure us that the utmost care and respect was being given to which properties would be visited via Universes Beyond. The idea that Universes Beyond would always be magic adjacent was meant to tell us that the immersion of magic was still valued, and that these journeys would never just grab any old random property, but instead focus on those that have connective themes and settings to those of magic. That ended up not being true, but in a world of SpongeBob SquarePants, Spider-Man, Dwight from The Office, and possibly Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it is nice to see that, at least for this set, this universe beyond our own, we will get to inhabit and explore a realm that carries with it the spirit and heart of what made us fall in love with Magic the Gathering so long ago. Anyway, the next set is Star Trek. Wait, stop, hold on! There's one more Magic the Gathering set before Star Trek, Reality Fracture, and Mark Rosewater promises it's going to deliver something Magic the Gathering players have been asking for a long time. But Mark Rosewater also said that Universes Beyond would not be standard legal or premiere sets, so who the hell knows anymore? I have two predictions for Reality Fracture. One of them positive, one of them cynical and negative. Which do you want first? Well, too bad, because you're getting the positive one. Many are speculating that Reality Fracture may be some kind of spiritual successor to Planar Chaos. A classic set where the very fabric of what makes Magic the Gathering was used as a storytelling device. The shattering of the color pie. Planar Chaos featured amazing card designs, where the color pie was inverted and, in some cases, flat out broken, shattered, in order to bring color-shifted versions of classic Magic cards, as well as exploring design space never thought possible. The very name, Reality Fracture, implies that reality itself has broken, and that, paired with Rosewater hinting that this is something players have asked for a long time, which Planar Chaos 2 is certainly one of those things, has led to this line of reasoning. Building somewhat on this broken reality theory is the idea of alternate histories, or alternate timelines for characters to be explored. This amazing, simply stunning key art for Chandra hints at a possible change to her timeline. And so maybe Reality Fracture might explore Magic the Gathering characters with alternate histories and in alternate realities. In other words, a blue-aligned Chandra, a mono-red Jace, a playable Tybalt, all the things thought impossible brought to us as reality itself gets rewritten, and of course, Bolas himself returns. That would be so exciting! The cynical guess that I have, though, is that Reality Fracture might be the set where Universes Beyond characters break through into the Magic the Gathering universe and team up with our characters. So, maybe this is the set where Optimus Prime and Donatello team up with Jace and SpongeBob and the other Donatello to take down Dr. Octopus. Save me, Fleam! I don't know, it's probably the alternate history thing. Alternate realities are the already tired plotline being used by everyone right now, so why shouldn't Magic the Gathering just, do that? Maybe it's Planar Chaos 2, though. We'll have to wait and find out. And finally, the last set of 2026 will be Star Trek. Not so much was revealed about this set, save for a short trailer and some key art. But as everyone knows, my favorite show in the entire world literally is Star Trek. I even did an episode with Princess Weeks where we talked which magic cards could be made into Star Trek cards. Only as skins though, but it's an interesting episode, I'll link it. And you know, I wore my Star Trek uniform in another episode. Oh, it was the episode where I predicted what properties would be coming to Magic the Gathering. So look, I love Star Trek, probably more than any other property. I grew up on it in a big way. I used to write down Star Trek on forums asking for my religion. I really did that. I love Star Trek. I live Star Trek. I breathe Star Trek. It's my favorite thing. And so many Magic the Gathering players are asking, how do I feel about Star Trek coming to Magic the Gathering? Whatever. It's whatever. I don't whatever. I just don't subscribe to that philosophy that everyone hates Universes Beyond until it's the franchise that you love. Now that it's the franchise that I love, yeah, fine. I'll try and have fun with it. Feel free to call me a hypocrite when I do inevitably open up a collector booster box of Star Trek with some other Star Trek fans in Magic and talk about the Star Trek episodes that the Star Trek cards are referencing. I did it with Doctor Who, with Gavin. I had fun doing that. And yeah, I'll probably do a shuffle up and play wearing my Star Trek uniform, like I did with Doctor Who. I'm gonna try my best to enjoy it. I still try my best to enjoy Magic. I really tried with Spider-Man, okay? I tried, but then I saw the cards. So what do you want from me? I do like to like things. I love cheesecake, and I love spaghetti, but I don't really want cheesecake in my spaghetti. So yeah, Star Trek. Like my favorite dessert mashed into my dinner, I'll try my best to stomach it. And that's 2026. More products and sets than ever before, and yet, paradoxically, less Magic the Gathering than ever before. If I could end this video with one plea, it is this. YouTube is broken. You've heard about YouTube being broken. Believe it or not, all of our shuffle up and plays are hidden and the views are showing. Our newest shuffle up and play where we play Pauper is deemed inappropriate for there's not even any Urza swearing in it. It's hidden from young impressionable minds to keep them from playing and loving Pauper. If you could please watch and spread the word about the new shuffle up that YouTube is hiding from everyone, that would mean a lot to me as we enter the last steps of 2025 and look forward to 2026. Thanks once again to Helix for sponsoring this video. Remember, there's nothing better than a good night's sleep, and there's no better way to a good night's sleep than with a great mattress, and that is just what Helix delivers. That's helix.com/Tolarian, or just scan this QR code and a better night's sleep is just a Helix away. Thank you, Helix, not just for sponsoring, but for giving me the best night's sleep I've ever had. I really sleep on a Helix, no lie. They're amazing. Check them out today.
Next time on Shuffle Up and Play.
What's up? It's Shuffle Up and Play, and today we have balanced our decks against a medium deck.
Mid? Did they call it? I think the kids call it mid.
But okay, off.
Your deck was bonkers, crazy, powerful.
They replaced a couple cards.
And how many was that?
20? I have a really easy turn one, a Gloom Lake Verge land.
Draw for turn.
And then I'm gonna draw for turn.
This is what I assume your lives are usually like. As influencers.
You're an influencer.
You're an influencer.
I'm gonna tell you this. See, that's what you do.
Death Cap Glade.
Is that a no cap? It's cap? Yeah, cap. Cap.
I want to attack, but I don't think anybody's naked. You got a 4/4 froggy.
Can't be naked.
What? Is this a common vibe?
Sometimes I say things and I don't know why.